Episode number 13 of the Testosterone Tales with myself and James Underwood. And guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please could you? It really helps us out. We're trying to build something up. You know, we've started off on my channel, but now we've moved over to the separate one. So it'll really help us out if you could do that. James, how are you, my friend?
Oh, what a question, mate. I'm good. It's been a heavy week this week, but I'm good.
We will get into that in a moment.
Yeah.
I think there's something that definitely deserves our attention that you're referring to. But other than that, you're good. Training-wise, diet-wise, life-wise.
Life-wise, bodybuilding-wise, all the rest of it, training-wise, I'm great, mate. We're flying. Body fat's definitely getting low now. Got the diet face going on.
Yeah,
Feel great.
He's looking sexy. Get a close-up on James. He's looking sexy. Got the cheekbones. Yeah, looks good, man.
People are like, oh, what you done to your jaw? I'm just like, no, I'm just losing fat.
It's the opposite for me. When I turn to the side, I've got like, you know, like when you lose a bit like a definition for your jaw and a little bit of this comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening to me, mate.
It's funny because I can literally, I can gauge my level of body fat by looking at my face.
100%.
You'll be the same.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
where you are in a diet.
You know when you're like maybe, I'm going to say like 6 to 10 weeks into a diet, you start not hating how you look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And you start
yeah.
actually wanting to do videos and stuff because you're like,
sure.
it's okay. I don't dislike how I look or whatever, right? You know?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit extreme. Dislike how you look.
There's like an exponential increase in the amount of like selfie talking videos on my Instagram of when we're dieting. You're the same.
That's it. I can tell your body fat level by how many videos you do on your Instagram.
Yeah. Peak off season, it's just like a few training videos. Isn't
yes, exactly, mate, exactly. But yeah, no, do you know, I've just seen it here. Some of my skin is on the floor because I've actually just come back from holiday, mate. And yeah, I'm peeling like a motherfucker. And literally, my skin is on the floor.
It's a lizard.
Yeah, no, 10 days in Turkey, mate. It definitely took a toll on the physique. I will say that. I trained twice out there, but not properly. I got a little pump on my legs and my chest.
It's funny because I think for a lot of people watching this who follow you on Instagram will look at, oh, it took a toll on your physique. It looks like you went out there and just went, boom. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? It's something that bodybuilders do is we very often, you'll know this as well. When you've been at a certain level, anything less than that just feels not good enough.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what it is. When I went there, I was pretty lean, I was pretty good. And then I finished the week and I was big, but certainly softer. Certainly lower back and whatever. But do you know, it was nice to switch off. It was nice to switch off. And I do feel like I needed it. However,
you trained?
I trained twice.
Was it training or were you just kind of moving some blood?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mid-level at best.
And again, we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but you and me go on holiday now and training isn't really something that we tend to do or fret about or worry about.
No.
We're going there to be on holiday, right?
For sure, for sure. I think we touched on it before, but it's nice to do it because it feels good, might set up your day, whatever. Yeah. But it's not the priority. Whereas I see other people doing it as their priority almost. For me though,
more so with our clients who are like at the beginning of the journey because I try to like obsess over this thing. Whereas
that's
the
true.
Majority of our year is obsessing over the thing. So a holiday is a break from the thing.
That's right, man. I can safely say for like 50 weeks of the year, I'm on it. Yeah. It's probably like a week or two where I'm slightly less.
Yeah.
And that's okay, right? I think it's good for balance. But you know, the problem wasn't training. The problem was the amount of fucking desserts I ate, man. Oh my God, I was just eating so much. It was great though, great to switch off. But here's the thing, and I want to sort of migrate into the next subject. And basically, I have felt a dip in motivation for the last probably 4, 5, 6 months. Okay. And I almost worry that having time off, I enjoy too much now. And now I'm wondering, is it because I'm getting older? Is it because I'm like 11 years into competing, 11 years into coaching? Like, what is it that's doing this? And I guess my question to you is, how does one stay motivated over a decade into doing this? How?
That's a really interesting question. I think there's 2 ways to look at this. The first one is for a lot of people, that dip in motivation, it's probably because they're still trying to integrate into a lifestyle. We're not, we're fully integrated into the lifestyle. I feel like because for us, there's less of a big carrot at the end of the road for us now, because there's not going to be this, probably more so for me. I feel like I've not really done myself justice yet. I feel like I can still do my best showing yet soon.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel for you probably know that you've maxed yourself out for years and years and years. It's not going to be this all of a sudden this transformative new level in the next 12 months. Agreed. It's going to be a couple of extra pounds of stage weight, or maybe a tiny bit leaner, and I know from a strength point of view, for you to, you're probably not going to hit your absolute bests in your life of strength ever again. Maybe not.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And it's like, is that you don't have that dangling of a carrot anymore. It's the monotony of 1% improvement, which takes 12 months. Whereas for a lot of the people watching this, the monotony of the improvement, but at least they're getting like a 5-10% improvement across 12 months. So the return on the investment for most of the normal people is far greater. Our return on our investment, and I think this is what I'm trying to say, is far smaller.
Correct.
So we have to put insane amounts of effort and discipline in without making any mistakes to get that.
Very much agree. There is such a thing as newbie gains, right? People say, and the progression arc of someone who's just started. So
first 2 years,
graph, it goes up dramatically.
First 2 years.
First 2 years, I would even argue if you're not even fully on it, you're kind of on it, you're still going.
You're going to make gains.
And then if you then dial it up and you really tighten things up for the next 5 years, you're still doing this.
For sure.
You and I are 10 plus years.
Yeah.
In fact, 21 years training.
Yeah.
But 11 years competing. Now my progression arc is very much like it's leveled off. And I should imagine yours is fairly similar.
Well, it's three things, isn't it? You're battling motorway miles of age. You're battling previous injuries or issues you've had. And then you're also battling genetic potential.
Yes.
And also as you age, your capacity to handle more weight on the bar or more drugs or more foods, your body's ability to handle that is lower. It's less.
Yep.
Then if you're 21, you can thrash yourself.
Yes.
If you're 41, you can't thrash yourself the same.
Correct. Also,
it's got to be more of a tiptoe.
Getting strong early on is almost a negative because your body notices progression, right? So let's say you lift 100 kilos. Now 90 kilos isn't going to create stimulus.
No.
So 105 will. 110 will.
I know where you're going with this.
Bro, I benched 5 plates. So I benched 220 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So now how am I going to see progression?
Yeah.
Everything almost feels like it's a down step.
Especially when our enjoyment was always strength training.
Exactly.
So when your enjoyment is strength training and to progress, you have to then start stepping away from just all out 2 work sets, max effort, work set, back off set. We now have to maybe do sometimes 3 sets. 15 rep range.
Yeah.
Like intensifiers, they're kind of almost dipping into the style of training that we didn't really marry ourselves to in the beginning.
It's very true, mate. It's very true. And also you touched on something as well, where it almost feels like you've still got a peak to hit. And when we talk about like the potential of competing and things like that, but with me, I'm going to blow my own trumpet right now, but 3 pro cards, 12 wins, 4 overalls, it almost feels like my best has already happened.
I feel you, bro.
So I'm like, how do I stay? So the reason why I started all of this conversation is like this holiday came and I was so grateful for it because I wasn't really loving training. I was dragging myself to the gym. Yeah. Which people don't really think. They think, oh, you're a pro bodybuilder, you just love it. I'm like, no, not always. I've come back. I've actually enjoyed this week of training. Thank fuck. But it's harder, man. It's harder. And I don't know if you ever feel these
feel them all the time, mate.
You do?
All the time. I need a lot of external not motivation, but my environment's very important to me. I need to be around either people who are better than me or people who are extremely driven and hungry because it reminds me of kind of how I started. I like training in different gyms. I like being around different people, not necessarily bodybuilders, different disciplines. Obviously, I've recently got into boxing, like surrounding myself with people who are just fucking amazing and just leaning into that like passion again. And it definitely bleeds back into your own life. I think you've got to be really careful as to who you're around as well. If it's the same circle, the same environment, the same gym, beige, vanilla environment, no one's really doing anything, no one's pushing you, no one's fucking poking you going, you can be better, you can be better. Or no one's on your fucking case going, is that it? Like, unless you've got that, it can be very, we can be disciplined for so long, but I do believe you do need some drive and motivation as well. Everyone will go, oh, well, it's not about motivation, it's about discipline. That's all we have. We've built ourselves on discipline. But we probably need a little bit of that as well.
I agree, man. Yeah, it's weird how it goes that way. So where we're so long in the game, we need a little bit extra now. I'm definitely feeling it. I mean, I'm 39 now. Am I as hungry as I was when I was 29? Probably not.
Yeah, who do we pay attention to? Who are our eyes drawn by? The people who are the best.
Absolutely.
Like, because it's exciting. Any like I can watch a video of like, Hollingshead squatting and I'm immediately like, right, I need to go and train my legs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like it can take 5 minutes of that.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I find, so before I move on, how do you, so specifically then you say you need a bit more of that. The discipline, yep, you've had that for 10 years. Cool.
So discipline's not an issue.
So the motivation, where are you sourcing that from now? Would you literally say things like Holland said, like those types of videos? Is that what you're saying?
Where am I sourcing the motivation
from?
Yeah,
where are you sourcing it from currently?
Oh, this can get deep. We're going to do this at the end of the video.
Oh, okay.
But like,
hold that thought.
But we yeah, okay.
Hold that thought. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we will get to that. Okay, so then, so now I'm going to say something to put us into the next subject, right? There are people on my Instagram that I don't particularly like, but they motivate me.
I have loads of those.
Motivate me.
I have loads of those. They're good.
Yeah, I will never remove them, and I don't hate them. I just don't particularly like what they're about, but they do motivate me.
I think we're probably that to some people.
Without a doubt. In fact, some people watching this right now, you're like, these guys are fucking...
You know what? High five. I see you.
It's okay.
I see
it's okay. You can't be like Brad One.
There's a lot of them, which you'll put a story up and I'll be one of the first people to view it every single time.
But do you know what? Like, I think getting older as well is realizing you just will not be like Brave One, and that's okay. That's okay. I know that I've been quite cocky in my life. I've been called it a lot. Maybe you have too. I don't know. And that's, it is what it is. You know, when you're striving for greatness, sounds really corny. When you're striving for greatness, it comes with the territory sometimes.
You have to be.
It comes with the territory sometimes, doesn't it?
You have to be. You have to be.
James,
take any human being, put them in a position where they're vying to be the absolute best they can be in a very competitive environment.
Yeah.
In order to immerse yourself and be the best, you can't actually play scenarios out in your mind where you're nothing but the best. You have to be so obsessively convinced in your own mind that there is no way you can lose.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, you have to actually become a little bit like, there has to be a bit of lunacy there.
I get that. And I think
and for people who are not like in that place and they're just going through the monotony of their lives, that will very much come across as arrogance or cockiness or overconfidence. But I guarantee them, if something excited them in their life and they were really good at it, they would behave in the same way.
Yeah, I get that.
So I don't see people like that anymore. It might trigger me, but I get it, and I kind of respect the path they're on.
I will say that about you, actually. I'm going to compliment you right now. I think that you're really good. You know, you'll always share things, you know, like little memes or whatever, little quotes about like bigging other people up because it won't dampen your own light.
Doesn't.
That's very much your thing. And I respect that a lot about you. You seem like you're incredibly positive and uplifting for others.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to go on record and say this. You actually inspire me to be more like it. I am like it, but you're more like it.
That's cool.
And I see something in you that I respect. I don't envy. I respect it and I like it. You know, there are probably people that piss you off. I might even piss you off. Other people won't piss you off, and that's okay. But you're just like, good for you, bro.
There's people.
You know, you lift them up.
There's genuinely people who I don't like, but I'm like, I just respect them on a point where the discipline, man, the effort, and you know, if they're doing that to improve their lives or help their families, then I will never knock that.
It's a great trait of yours. But then I think one of the reasons why I brought this up is that, you know, they motivate me, these people that I quote unquote dislike, even though I don't know them well enough to, but I'm just saying their persona. But at what point is someone's progress fucking annoying and cocky? Like, at what point does someone's like self-belief turn into, you're just a knobhead? Do you come across that?
I know who he's talking about here. Just FYI. We're not going to drop any names, but I know exactly who you're talking about here.
There's a few, but there is one. There's the main player. And part of me respects him because it's clearly working. Right now, he's hot property.
He's a fucking he's a bodybuilder and he's fantastic. He's very good. He could go very, very far. He will go very far.
Yeah.
But there's also an element, we're going to caveat everything we've just said, there's an element of humbleness.
Humility.
And carrying yourself. I think if you're going to be a pro in anything, especially as a bodybuilder, part of the job is behaving like a professional and like inspiring, because it's not just about you, it's who you inspire. And I think that's why I'm very much like, regardless of what I do, if I've helped 10, 20, 100 other people to improve their lives because of my actions, then that's success, isn't it?
Without a doubt.
And I just think the way this particular person, I know who you're referring to, does it, he's absolutely incredible, but the way he behaves leaves almost a bitter taste in your mouth to be like, you could be so much better if you just had some humility.
But then again, what does my or your or anyone's opinion really matter? If it's working for him, he's content in his life, and he's inspiring, you know, here's what it is. But I just think how good you are doesn't necessarily mean you should be. It shouldn't be relative to arrogance level. So, for example,
I'm gonna throw something in here for you. Everyone's journey has to end at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When his career ends, and when he stops doing what he's doing, he's going to be a very sad person, because all his happiness is built on the thing. He's not given anything. The crowds will leave. The support circle will leave. No one's there long term. If you're inspiring and motivating people along the journey and you're pulling them up with you, that crowd doesn't disappear when you stop, because they're invested in you as a person. He's incredible. He's amazing. But for me, the second he stops bodybuilding, he's going to probably, I think, he will have some hard demons to face. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I
feel like he will have extreme difficulty when eventually he either chooses to leave or he's forced to leave via an injury or health or whatnot. Because that happens for a lot of bodybuilders. There has to be an acceptance of I can't do this anymore. And it's either age, health, or injury.
Ironically, I think that's what I'm going through. I am not. I remember years gone by, I was able to post, you know, my 300 plus squats, my 200 plus benches, and I had more of an audience.
Yeah, you're the guy.
When you can't do it anymore, now it's like you're here today, gone tomorrow.
This is the point I'm making here is that you're Ryan Mackins. You're not bodybuilder Ryan Mackins. You're Ryan Mackins first.
Sure.
And it's the same for me. People know who we are. The personality is first. What we do is second. The two come together. But I think if you applied yourself in any discipline, you'd have the same kind of success.
Yeah, interesting that. Yeah. I like to think that, I think a lot of people don't know you and they only know you as your bodybuilding persona or your online persona, which is a shame.
It is a shame, but you can capture the audience initially with your impressive shit. Yeah. But how they stay is the way you conduct yourself.
And ultimately, you know, that guy is thriving right now. So what I'm saying is sort of like, whatever, here's what it is. But I just think you can be like, hey, as I was about to say, right? How good you are and how arrogant you are not relative. So Andrew Jacked, how fucking good is that guy?
Yeah.
And when he won the Arnold Classic and he won £1 million recently over 2 shows.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about it? He was like, yeah, whatever. Life carries on. He was just really like, psh.
Yeah.
And he has every right to be like, fuck yeah, you know, and because he's probably, in my opinion, he's got the best physique in the world.
For sure.
And he's so normal. And you said off camera, Ryan Terry.
Ryan Terry, perfect example. They're ambassadors for the sport because they are good, solid people. That's someone who I'd want to spend time with. That's someone who outside of the gym you could have a laugh with.
Yeah.
That's, you know, someone if you're having a bad day, you could pick up a phone and speak to and it'd be cool.
Again, I personally gravitate more towards that. But then again, okay, so recently as well, you're getting into boxing and boxers are known for it, right? Let's go right to the top.
Yeah, yeah.
The most famous boxer in history, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, yeah.
Part of his brand, part of his appeal was who he was, right? And he was incredible. I'm too pretty. I'm too good. I am the greatest. All this stuff, yeah? And it worked.
What's happened now, though?
He's dead.
No, sorry.
I don't need to laugh at someone dying. That was weird. But what do you mean? Sorry. Oh, let's try again.
No, so like afterwards, things started to change. As soon after he's on his downfall, things started to change. Same with Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Really good example.
Conor McGregor. Like, and then.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There has to be. Mike Tyson's a good one because he's gone down a very deep route. Dorian Yates, another good example.
Yeah, yep.
There has to be, there's a bit of a spiritual journey. And I think unless they address that early on, then they suffer and they're going to have those demons for the rest of their lives. Dorian Yates has got it under wraps. He's found himself. But
through the 90s after he competed, the early 2000s, he went through that phase, right?
He did.
He fell.
He fell.
Yeah.
He fell. And I think this is the side of all high-level sport that all athletes experience. And we experienced at a much lower level, but we still experience it. And I feel like it's almost like you're kind of grieving your mourning, your best, because you know you're past your best. It's like, what story do I still have to tell? But we do. And it's a different story to tell now because you're not just on the journey of me, myself, and I. It's us, my team, my clients, my friends, my family.
Yeah.
I can still do this. You can still do it. And the journey's not over until you decide it's over.
it's funny the way you worded that is exactly how I've been feeling of late. One of the reasons why motivation's been harder, because I'm like, I'm not quite who I once was.
You've been like this for a couple of years, mate.
Yeah, but it's hit me harder of late.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, for me, it's really important because there's going to be a long life after bodybuilding, touch wood.
Do you think about
where you're still you? You're no longer Ryan the bodybuilder. You are Ryan. What else you can offer?
Have you thought about like, and we've not had a chat about this off camera. Have you had to think about like an exit strategy?
Not enough. Being honest, not enough.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And this is a deep conversation because this is something that everyone has to think about.
Part of whether you admit this now or not, I'm not saying you're denying it, but part of your identity is your size, your persona, your
big
strength.
Man, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
imagine walking down the road and you're no longer known as the big man. You're 100%. Just James. You're just a normal dude.
100. But I've dipped my feet in the water of doing that. I had a period of time where I stopped from illness, whatever, and that was really polarizing for me. That was like okay, you still need to be you. You can't marry yourself to this identity of, and I feel like so many people. That we're all being coached and taught how to build a business, how to build a body, how to build a family. There's not many people catching you on the other side when it's knowing when that chapter's coming to an end. There's no one catching you on the other side. It's a very lonely path for a lot of people. And I think this is where it becomes a little bit more deeper, a little bit more meaning of life, a little bit more spiritual, a little bit about the people you're around, the message you're pushing. And I'm really leaning into that now because I know that time's coming. I'm already that's why I'm very much pull people up with you. Because for me, the way out of it is I want to pay this forwards. If I can inspire someone to have the same impact that people say I've had an impact on them. Well, I want someone to do what I do because they've been inspired by me and I want them to go off and do all the things I've done and even more. That's my way of paying it. And if I know I've had that impact on someone and they've gone away and fucking built the business, they've had the family, they've conquered their fears, whatever, they've fucking jumped out the plane and they're scared of heights. If we've had that kind of influence on someone, then that really brings me peace. That's go on.
Do you get the same payoff from your own progress to theirs?
Not anymore. It used to be about me, whereas now I buzz more. I feel more joy from my client's success than I do my own.
That's great.
I genuinely do. And I know that's the case because if push comes to shove and it's like a Sunday or a Monday and I'm doing all my check-ins and all my work and I'm like, I need to train, I'll get my work done first. I'll train after. Whereas old me would have been like, fuck that. I'm going training. I'm like,
I agree with you. But also, do you not think that, okay, we've been doing this a long time. There are so many poor clients, they almost drum it out of you.
For sure.
So I had a client on stage last year and he almost brought a tear to my eye, Josh Davis.
Yeah, man.
Because I saw how much he meant to him. When I saw him win, he literally was like, the passion was beaming out of him. And it almost brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah,
I felt it.
You've walked through the journey with them.
You know
what they feel.
All the highs and lows, right?
It's powerful.
And that's amazing. So that makes me realize I am in the same boat as you. However, there are so many clients that just sort of drain the life out of me that sometimes I get lost in the woods, should we say. I get lost in the weeds.
Bro, in order to have the Josh Davies, you have to have the soul suckers. It's unavoidable. However,
true.
and we can say this on camera now, 5-10 years ago, we'd have said yes to everyone. Now, if I even have a hint of that, you're gone.
Oh, that actually takes us on to the next subject.
I got ready.
Wasn't there one you wanted to speak about?
Yeah.
Because we literally said it just off camera. So please take the mic, my friend.
I've had two. I've had two in the last week. One was particularly bad. He just
set it up, man. Set it up.
Yeah, like it was really bad. I've shown you all the messages.
Correct.
It was awful. Like, I just said to him, look, if this isn't for you, like, you're wasting my time. You said you're going to do this. You said you're going to pay at this time. You didn't. You said you were going to check in. You didn't. You're not following a diet. You said you're struggling for money, but then you've just been out on a 2-week holiday. If you're watching us, you know who you are, then good. I hope it hurts. You've successfully pissed me off. But I'm genuinely, I don't care anymore because for me to be a good coach, I need to pour my energy into the people that really want this.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not about the money anymore. Like, my bills are paid. So long as my son's good, my wife's good, my bills are paid, and there's some savings in the bank, and we're all happy and healthy, I don't care. I don't care anymore. If you're taking energy away from me being able to pour into my family or my clients that matter, then I will let you go. And there's genuinely no hard feelings. I don't have a problem with you. I don't hate you, but it will just, I'm not going to try and save it like I used to. And I will honestly just say, look, we're not the right fit. I'm not the right coach for you. I will not, I'm not going to do that anymore.
We had a chat, one of the podcasts few ago, and I remember saying to you along the lines of your standard, your slogan for your business.
Results driven.
Yeah, results driven. And you, I believe, again, a little bit of a criticism, but not anymore, for sure, is that you were not adhering to that.
Absolutely.
But this, what you're explaining, is adhering to that.
Absolutely. I just think, look, if you want it, you'll get everything. You'll get 110%.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're giving me 50% energy, don't even sign up.
Yeah.
I don't want your money.
Yeah.
I don't want your money. It's just not about money anymore. I want to do this because I want to help people. And if that comes into conflict and you don't want, if I'm in a position where as a coach, I want your success more than you do, then you need to find a new coach.
It's hard though, because I agree with what you're saying. However, we do still have bills to pay. So it's not about money, it's about the passion, and we enjoy helping people. Yes, I agree. However, sometimes in order to pay the bills, you have to accept those shit.
You do.
Accept that shit, sorry.
You do. And bro, I've done that for years. With obviously the things that have happened recently, and we'll get onto it, but like, I am so at a point now where life is too short. I'm so at a point where, like, if you're a red, we've talked about a traffic light system before. I don't need you. I don't care. I just don't need you. It's just one of them.
No.
And I get we've got bills to pay, but the bills will be paid because if you honor your system and you deliver results, and people will then. My message is rewritten now. It's, if you're trading with me and you're one of my clients, you are someone who wants to fucking change your life.
Yes.
And it's the same for you.
Yes.
So I only want to attract that. If you're not in that band, then I'm not taking you on as a client. And it's not because I don't think you're good enough, you don't want it. It's just 70% or 80%. That's fine. I'm going to straight up front tell you, go and find a new coach. Listen, or I'll redirect you to someone who will do that.
Hey, listen as well. I don't think that these people are bad inherently, and they're not like, they don't mean to be that way. Maybe it's a timing thing. They're just not in the right headspace or whatever. Yeah. I've currently got one I said off camera as well, right? Yeah. And I'm going to say it now. Yeah. He doesn't have social media. And I'm not slagging him off per se, but he's paid for 6 months up front. So I have to honor my side of the deal, right? He messaged me the other day. I put it on my Instagram story. He said, health is never going to be in the top 10 for me. No. Health has never been in the top 10 priorities for me. And it will never be in the top 5 for me. I only want to try 20%.
My first reaction to that.
He actually said that, genuinely said that.
My first reaction to when Ryan said was, does this guy have a family? And you were like, I don't think so.
No.
Okay. My second reaction was, this guy probably has not had some kind of serious trauma or medical emergency in his life. He probably needs to have a heart attack. He probably needs to have something really. No, he seriously needs to have something bad happen in his life for him to shake that shit in his mind and go, you need to change your life. Yeah. Because I was like that for years.
It's not enough, is it? You need a slap.
He needs a slap, mate. Yeah. He needs something really bad to happen to sufficiently motivate him to change his ways. Otherwise, you're going to be dragging a dog that does not want to be walked down the road. Yeah.
Well, that line you said, I really like that line you said.
This is clenbuterol, by the way, guys. Mind you, sitting here fucking sweating.
Hold on, have I got one? Yeah. No, there was a line you said, and I really like the line. It sort of sticks on my head, funny enough.
I'm trying to hit more lines. I'm trying to do the Chris Williamson with the one-liners.
Yeah, you said when you've got a million problems, you've got 10 problems, but when you've got a health problem,
you've only got one problem.
That's your only one you think about. Yeah. So my response is, guy, we'll move on from him. But in a nutshell, I was just like, to not put health as number 1, or certainly 2 after family.
The only way you're going to...
It's just ridiculous. Without health, you have nothing.
I think the only way you're going to spin this guy around is if he's only really wanting to put in like 20% effort and he's not asked about his health. I feel that the only way you're going to get him on board with changing his mindset is as he slowly starts seeing a result, which he will. He's going to put in minimal effort. He said he's going to put in minimal effort. He'll get a return on that. And as he starts getting a return, you might be able to pull those strings slightly harder where he starts going, I can do it. And rather than it being a push motivation, it's a pull motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
I do.
I really try and for me, that's in the past, that has been a thing. I find a lot of clients, they're kind of in it. They're not that confident. They don't have that belief. It's your job to try and kind of quickly go, oh, wow, you can get a quick, small win here. And then once you've got a quick, small win, they start believing in themselves. They start pulling themselves rather than you pushing them. And then you're just a guy going, do this, change that, tweak that, and the magic happens.
Do you know what? And one thing that really feeds motivation is seeing a result.
For sure.
And I think a lot of guys and girls, people, they don't see enough return on their investment early on because they're not trying hard enough. So the irony is...
There's that, and there's also... it's very confusing for someone who's not been in the industry as a normal Gen Pop client to look at our Instagram full of bodybuilders or look online or go to the cinemas and see all these people who are ripped and stuff and think they're going to achieve that in 12 weeks.
Yes.
Like when sometimes
it's a fundamental misunderstanding.
Yeah. So we have to manage expectations correctly.
Yes.
And we also have to get them to be really adherent. And there has to be a period of time. And in that time, they're then deciding in their minds whether it's for them or not.
It's mental resilience for that period of time. So the first 6 months is a bit dicey, isn't it?
It is.
It's a bit dicey for someone who's considerably out of shape.
It is.
Because also you see online people eating this food and that food and this food, and they quote unquote get away with it. But the reason being is because they've done it for 10 years.
For sure.
You know, but when you're in the first 6 months, there's not many wins, right?
Yeah. Which is why for those beginners, the coaching game for us is less about the knowledge. It's more about the guiding, the mindset, and the actual the personal, the bad habits, the things that need to change, the psychological side of it.
Yeah.
For the really advanced clients that we have, it's less about that. They're already there. They're already disciplined. It's there after our knowledge and our key bits of information at the right points.
Hey, do you know
and
what,
accountability.
Do you know what as well, bro? How hard something is not even the task itself. It's your desire to do it. So someone who starts with James Underwood, right? They'll be like, I just can't do it, James. I can't do it. But what you're asking them to do isn't particularly hard, right? You're asking them to train 3, 4, 5 times a week, hour each time, maybe. And you're asking them to do a little bit of food prep, which is 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's not that hard, right? But what makes it hard in their mind is their desire. And basically, desire is the key function of how hard or easy something is. If you really want it, it becomes easy. If you don't really want it, everything feels like an uphill battle,
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think also the other two, the way I tend to try and handle that objection is I'll ask them what they do in a day.
And map out the day.
Map out the day. Talk me through your day. And usually the first time they tell you, they miss out a lot of shit.
For sure.
Like if I ask you to show me your screen time on your phone, on Instagram, on YouTube, or if I ask you what, in casual off conversation, what TV series you've watched recently, how much time that person spends just fucking about doing nothing important, that's not making money, that's not changing their life, that's not changing their physique, that's not contributing to their family, they're just monging out in front of a TV because like alcohol, they're just need a bit of dopamine after a long day. They're numb, they're tired, they can't be asked, and it's just a give up attitude. And everything's very much at the moment of validating that. If you're in a position where you're genuinely unhappy, what happens if you just stop watching TV for the next 3 or 4 months? And I know that's extreme. You don't have to stop watching TV. I would just say, rather than watching 2 episodes, watch 1 and then you've got an hour in the gym. But most of the time we're asking that person, well, in order to do what we're doing, you're going to have to take something out of your day that you're doing currently. And most of the time, they're not actually doing that much. And I'll go, oh, I've not got time. I'm too busy. I've got to go to work. I've got to pick the kids up. I've got to go home and then fucking what?
Have a wank.
Have a wank. Have you had a wank? If you had a wank, you've got too much time on your hands. Like, yeah, you can.
Is that the rule?
That's a sound.
If you
yeah, like
if you wank, you've got too much time.
Just fuck yeah.
So what? Do you wank? Well, move on. So no, I agree, man.
You're asking them. You're asking them like, look, we need to meet in the middle here. But you're miserable as fuck. If you do nothing, if you change nothing about your life, you're just going to get fatter. You're going to get more out of shape. As the years go on, you're going to lose muscle. Everything in your life will absolutely get harder. In order for your life to get better, you say you want to look better. You say you want to feel better. You want to say you want to be more present. You want to have more energy. We're literally giving you the blueprint to do that. And in the vast majority of instances, it's not really costing you anything out of your day. If you missed an hour of a TV series, like 4 or 5 times a week, what have you lost over 6 months? It's not cost you anything.
No.
It's just effort. When they say I've not got the time, in most instances, it is a fucking smokescreen.
Yeah.
And there'll be people screaming at the TV now going, I've got 2 businesses. I've got 3 kids. I'm a single mum, a single dad. Listen, I could give you, remember what we do for a living. We deal with people who have multiple businesses, who have multiple kids, who are single parents and are fucking smashing it. We have people who are diabetic. We have people who have PCOS, who have fucking low body fat and don't complain about they can't lose fat. We have literally every fucking instance of examples of people who are who do not have like elite genetics, who fucking smash it. Most of the time, it's a smokescreen.
Yeah.
It's a fucking smokescreen. So the question we need to ask is, do you actually want it? Do you want the thing? If you want the thing, you will do the thing. And if you don't want your thing, release yourself of the dream of having the thing and go and do something else. Yeah. Like, go and fucking wank yourself off. Go and watch that extra episode on Netflix. Because if that's actually what you want to do, then sound. But do not say you want the thing if you don't want the thing. Yeah. Like,
but people are creatures of habit. They're very often looking for comforts. And what you're saying, as much as they might know it's true, it doesn't necessarily feel that comfortable.
Yeah.
And they need to create new pathways in their mind. Like, so just by habit, they'll get home and they'll just sit on the sofa and mong and veg, right? They'll just do that because that's just their habit. And it's breaking their cycle. Let's say humans are creatures of habit. So it's just breaking that.
Most of the things in life, the good things in life, come from breaking cycles.
All good things come with effort. Nothing worth having doesn't come with some form of sacrifice.
How many times have you done something and it's been a big problem in your head? You've then done it afterwards and you go, oh, it was really easy. Why didn't I just do that last week?
Oh, mate.
Every fucking time.
It's so frustrating.
Every fucking time.
I had to mow my lawn this week and it took me fucking 3 days to muster up the courage to do it. And then I did it. And
you're like, not only was that easy, I actually enjoyed it.
Therapeutic, mate. When I even took a photo of my lawn and I thought, oh man, you're so 39. You're so 39. I was like, anyway, right, let's move on. I've got a little quickfire one for you. And I want to start off with one that's going to make me laugh and you laugh, right? A little segment called Overrated. Overrated. Overrated, underrated.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to start with, because it's right here. I did it off camera and James took the piss out of me, right? So vaping, overrated or underrated?
Oh my God. He's putting out a little tip in his mouth and sucking it and blows it away.
Does it turn you on?
That's so gay, mate.
So vaping is out. Okay. No, let's go to certain things. I actually made a little list and I kind of want to get, I'm going to fire them to you. And
why do bodybuilders vape, man? Why do bodybuilders all have French fucking bulldogs as well? So, why do they all have small dogs and small little vapes? Especially the big boys. What's that about?
I don't know, man. Do you know when you're in prep, it definitely helps with hunger. It definitely helps with hunger. It doesn't make you look very masculine. It's not very, but
helps
it
with hunger.
helps.
What about retatrutide? That helps with hunger. What's the difference?
That's gay.
No, vape's not gay.
No, I agree with you. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, and I will stop. Anyway, look, I'm gonna fire some over to you, and we'll be quick.
Okay,
right? So don't fucking too much. Okay,
go.
Overrated, underrated. MOTS-C.
Overrated.
Okay, because real quick, sum it up.
The literature of it reads really, really well. The feeling of it, for me personally, does not match the literature. I know it's doing something, but I don't feel enough.
Cool. That works. Selank.
Absolutely underrated for me personally.
Because?
It massively improves my recovery. It's not just a placebo. I wear a Whoop. I can see my recovery scores and my sleep scores. I take it before I go to bed at night, especially on days where I've used a lot of stimulants. I find it calms my mind down. It reduces anxiety. I have a deeper, more restful sleep.
Banging. Is that measurable? Have you had done it before?
I've done it. On the days I do use it and the days I don't use it, my recovery score is better. And not only is it measurable, it's measurable in terms of dose. I've gone higher dose and my recovery score is even higher.
Wow.
Selank, amazing, amazing. If you're someone who struggles with sleep, someone who struggles with anxiety, someone who uses stimulants late at night, try it. Message me. We'll talk about different dosing options. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. You can't sue me. But try it. And if you're using it alongside other things, if you really struggle with sleep, a lot of people have insomnia at the moment. It's a big problem I'm getting at the moment. Magnesium, zinc, Selank, melatonin, all these combinations of things together work extremely well. If you're struggling, let's have a chat. Underrated.
Okay. The Wolverine stack, BBC 157, TB 500. Overrated, underrated?
I think it is underrated and you think it is.
So you saw my video yesterday, very, very quickly. Me and James hurt our elbow when going through detail 7 months ago.
Yeah.
I stopped using BPC maybe 4 months ago, and I'm now back to my normal strength without using it. And I believe you are not quite there.
Yeah, I'm there now.
Oh, you are there now?
I'm there
okay.
now. Yeah.
But so basically there was no difference in our recovery time from someone using and someone not using.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's only an anecdote, but it's something, right?
Very quickly, there's been instances where I've used BPC and not noticed anything, and there's been other instances where I've used it and you've seen tremendous improvements.
Okay.
I'd also be inclined to say the one thing externally that I have seen is less so for injuries, more so for people's post-surgery. I know I can give 2 examples of clients who've used it after a hernia surgery. One of them had a double hernia surgery. Recovery time was 12 weeks. 12 weeks. He was using every single day, 250 mcg, 3 times a day, morning, lunch, evening. And when he saw his surgeon at the 8-week point, as like a checkup, he said he'd never seen anyone recover so fast. And he was training 5 weeks later after a double hernia surgery, which was keyhole, but double hernia surgery in his stomach, sweat. BPC 157. It's cheap as fuck as well. Cheap.
I agree, but then I broke my leg in 2010. Okay. Not only did I not use anything because I was on nothing back then, literally I was completely natural.
Yeah.
I wasn't even using my crutches. I was genuinely walking on the side of my foot. Okay. I recovered in 4 weeks. Yeah. From a snap.
Right. We'll keep this one quick as well. It's very fucking cheap. Very low very low studied side effect profile. Has incredible data on animals, not on humans, but bodybuilders and athletes have been using it for over 10 years. Okay. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people. No one's died from it. No one's had anything bad happen to them from using it so far that we know. Again, not a medical professional. In most instances, you can get a vial of BPC 157 for about 20 quid. Okay? You're going to spend BCAAs, EAAs, protein. If you know something may affect you and the cost of physio and surgery and all these things is in the hundreds and the thousands, if something could potentially speed up recovery of something that's really slowed you down and you're in pain, you could spend 20 quid and potentially speed it up. Why would you not? Why would you not?
I guess I can see the logic in that, but also like...
If you're counting every single penny, okay, but you're not.
Okay.
Why would you not?
I still don't think that's proof, but I do understand your point. I understand your point. Like, let's move on. So you reckon underrated BBC because you believe it's good?
Yeah. Okay.
Right, quick one. Steroids, testosterone.
Underrated.
Correct.
Incredible.
Absolutely. The best steroid.
Number one.
Correct.
Number one. If you're gonna play around with steroids, and you're a male, testosterone enanthate, particularly,
yeah,
that's goated.
Even if you're not a bodybuilder, even if you're just a bloke, a very small amount of testosterone is a fucking game changer.
You could
best.
If you're open to being advanced and using PEDs, you could build an incredible physique on testosterone alone without taking anything else. Yep. It's very easy to manage. It's very dose dependent, and almost every single male will get on with it. Yep. In most instances.
Yep. Other than like,
and it's cheap as fuck.
Other than the absolute like minority, testosterone is fantastic. Yep. I'd say not even for bodybuilders, just for men.
We are not promoting drug use. We are not medical professionals, and you cannot sue us.
Masteron.
Oh. Old me would have said underrated. I'm probably going to say overrated now, mate.
Hey, agreed. Primo.
Also, I don't have any hair left.
Fucked you up. You got done dirty by Masteron.
Primo, underrated. Underrated.
Okay, because?
I believe in the past I've not been taking real Primo. I'm taking real Primo now. Feel fucking amazing.
Okay. Real quick, because I do want to keep these quick, but would you not say the way that you're feeling, the way you're looking is also largely down to what we are doing?
Of course. Yeah. No,
in terms of diet and training.
Absolutely. But the last time I did a diet and I was in a setting, I was using equipoise, slightly higher blood pressure. I don't feel any of those feelings now. I feel like I have the same anabolism, but I don't feel any side effects. I don't feel I have any side effects. The only side effect I'm having is I'm sweating. That's because it's hot and I'm taking clenbuterol.
To be fair, it's hot in here.
It is hot in here. It's hot in here. But like,
okay,
Primo's expensive. It's hard to get hold of. It's highly counterfeited. If you've got the real deal, if you can take the correct dose, which you need to go a little bit higher in most instances with most people, I'm not promoting drug use. It feels like a almost side effect free, very anabolic, very safe compound. And in the past, I probably would have used Trenbolone or EQ or a combination of, and I feel like I've got a way better physique now without using those really harsh compounds.
Yeah.
I feel this is something I could use as I get older and not run into problems.
Yep. I think side effect wise, Primo is fantastic.
I feel it's really impressed me.
I do agree.
Really impressed me.
Deca/MPP, Nandrolone.
Overrated, man.
I think I agree with you. I don't really feel anything that much.
Shitloads of water weight, shitloads of bloat. You look big. You're not that much of a strength gain. Supposed to alleviate your joints. Is it just because you're heavier and fatter? Definitely can cause problems with your dick.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck me.
Prolactin through the roof.
Yeah.
Not good. So
the cons are not worth the pros.
So I guess that would then also go into another nandrolone-based drug, Trenbolone. Everyone's favorite. Everyone's meme. Trenbolone, underrated, overrated.
It's so overrated, man.
The effects are very notable. I think that you'll never be as strong as you are when you're getting all of the variables plus Tren. Okay, all of the variables plus Tren. I think
everyone, all the lads that have used it are going to scream at the fucking cameras and go, "Oh my god, it makes you strong as fuck. I feel horny. I do this, do that. Like I can eat the same food. I'm getting leaner. I'm getting more vascular. The rest of it." Yeah, but almost every single person I know who's used Trenbolone, everything outside of a gym gets worse.
That's a great way of putting it.
The trade-off for Trenbolone, right, guys? And I literally, this can be a soundbite. The trade-off for Trenbolone is your actual quality of life. Your relationships will not improve. Your productivity outside of a gym will not improve. It will get worse. Your sleep will get worse. You will sweat more. You will become more irritable. It will absolutely trash your kidney function. It will trash your liver function. And if you can get out of 10 or 12 weeks of running Trenbolone without falling out with people, without getting some like criminal conviction, that you've done well.
12 weeks on Trenbolone is mental, by the way.
Mental. Yeah.
Me personally, my own take on it is strong, yes. Poor sleep, poor blood markers.
Yeah.
I don't feel the other bits, but those things alone are terrible. Poor sleep and poor blood.
There's aspects
really
of it.
Bad.
Yeah,
really
whilst you're on it in the gym, like you're 2 or 3 weeks in, you're in the gym, you're training, you've got a pump, you're feeling stronger. In that moment right there, you will adore it. And that's the only moment you'll adore it. The rest of your day is harder and worse.
Yep.
Your relationships and everything else will suffer.
I'll agree. I think the juice isn't worth the squeeze, especially if you're not like a pro bodybuilder. If you're just a dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Final 3. Orals. Anavar.
Underrated.
I agree. I think low sides, high results.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed on that. Anadrol. Your old favorite.
I fucking used to love
the James
Anadrol.
Underwood 2021 special.
So for the strength you get in the gym, it's probably the only thing for me that would top Trenbolone. But again, it'll just ruin you. It'll pickle your liver. Anadrol 50 and Apollon, right? There's only 2 types of people that take it. Competitive bodybuilders, powerlifters, and prisoners. It's a prison drug. They smuggle it into prisons because you can take 1 tablet, put on 10 pounds of water and get very strong without changing your diet. It will pickle your liver. And I can tell you that as a fact. I've wrecked my liver using Anadrol. It absolutely contributed to a lot of health issues I've had. So unless you know what the fuck you're doing, unless you've got a coach, do not even play around with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. It's very poor for your health, good for performance, not worth the trade-off.
Although all my best bench presses I've ever done in my life have been with Anadrol 50.
All of my strength, the next one for me.
Like every time I've hit my fucking absolute max, there's been a nap 50 in there.
Listen,
like pre-workout.
Every strength feed that I've ever done back in the past was always on this next one.
Yeah, and now we're all fucked with
fucking D-bol.
D-bol
always produced, D-bol and Tren, I used to run them both.
At the same time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the strongest I ever was on it. Now, could you say I was fresher in my physique? I was also, yeah, cool. But so D-bol, overrated, underrated, finish off.
It's overrated because the trade-offs are horrendous.
Yeah, agreed.
But for the first 2 weeks you take it, my God, it's good fun.
It is, yeah.
First two weeks.
Be a bit puffy, a bit strong. Yeah, great.
Yeah, and then after that, it's just pure sides.
And also, it fucks your appetite.
Most guys are taking Dynabol in a surplus, right? Because you're in a phase where you're going to get watery. You're trying to gain strength. You're trying to lift more weight in a gym.
Yep.
But every single week that you're taking it, your appetite's going to reduce, which is like not conducive to the goal.
It's weird because then
you need to be in a calorie surplus.
Your body weight is still going to be high, so you're having this opinion that you're like growing, but it's not. It's not the correct.
Your strength and body weight creep up, and then week 2 and 3 you can't eat as much, so maybe like 500,000 calories less. So then eventually you get to the point, oh, I feel sick, I can't eat. So then you pull the Dynabol out, the 10 pounds of water drops off, and now you're lighter than when you started.
Exactly,
and your head's fucked.
What's going to grow? What's going to make you grow? Sorry, it's going to be hard training with food.
Yeah,
and you can't eat properly, so it's like
No.
Right, okay, that will conclude that. So I want to move on now, mate.
Melanotantu.
Oh, yeah. You told me it's off camera. Hit me with it, mate.
Melanotantu will make your dick bigger. Melanotantu will make...
Say that again, please. Say that again.
Melanotantu will make your dick bigger. The end. That's that.
Well, I think that's the end of the podcast. What the fuck? No, I ain't having that. Your
injection sales have just gone...
Listen. Your anatomy does not grow. Like, there's only that much skin there.
It's to do with blood flow.
There's only that much skin there.
It's to do with blood flow.
So it gives you harder erections.
No, not just erections. On a flop. You're bigger on a flop. Pull my pants down this morning. Pull my pants down this morning. Amy was like, what the fuck? Looks like, she said to me, it looks like you got filler in there. I walked downstairs with a limp. I was like, good morning. Where's my coffee?
Listen. We're going to need to fact check this because I actually don't know enough to say yes or no. On the surface, I'm dubious.
Oh, I'm sweating now.
I reckon, can you...
Look at that.
Can you... Oh, my God. Hey, bro, off camera, maybe. Can you just quickly show me?
Yeah.
Just turn around.
Yeah, I will in a minute.
Hold on a minute. So I could do with a couple of inches, to be honest with you, mate. Is it worthwhile? So it's underrated?
Bro, it's so underrated.
Okay.
Like, not only... But you know what?
Okay.
Genuinely. Again, this is not medical advice. We're not promoting drug use. Like, do whatever you want, yeah?
I'm not promoting it, but make sure you do bigger.
So, you know I love my peptides. Gay. But I love my peptides, okay? Melanotan-2, there are genuine studies. It improves insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
So it does actually contribute to your physique development. It also reduces inflammation in the body. So it's anti-inflammatory, improves insulin sensitivity. It obviously improves your body's ability to tan. But it also has a certain mechanism in it that has a direct impact on libido, sex drive, and blood flow. And it doesn't just... Vasodilation. But it doesn't just affect men, it affects women as well. So, and I'm guys, if you know, you know. But if you've taken Melanotan-2 and you're a male, your erections are unbelievable. Even on the flop, it's like, there's a noticeable difference, yeah? And women, mate...
They get a wide on.
They get a wide on, but it makes... bro, I'm telling you, it makes them horny. And I can genuinely say this because, like, it's fact. Anyone who's taken Melanotan-2, especially the injections, this is certified. Like this is testosterone tails.
He's getting excited. I love this.
Like, why would I not?
I love this.
We said at the beginning of the podcast that this is about paying it forwards. I'm paying it forwards. Like, why not?
Love it, mate. I'm curious. The way you described it, I'm sold. If I'm fucking honest,
I promise you. I want feedback. Bang. Do 2 or 3 days on the trot, right? And then
I'll send you a selfie.
Give me a fucking Let's have a 3-day transformation picture from like Monday
before and after,
Monday to Thursday on the flop.
After, yeah, on the flop.
On the flop.
You actually want me to send you my dick, yeah?
Well,
look me in the eye and say that. All right, okay. Move on from the dick talk, but that's great. I love that.
I'm telling you.
Right, Fact. So tell us about your t-shirt, mate. You've just got a new sponsorship, so
this sweaty t-shirt, yes. Guys, obviously you'll know, those who have been following me, I am moving to TMU, the Muscle Unit, Manchester. It's owned by Rob Taylor, the Barnsley Pitbull, and Nick Layton. Solid guys. I've got so much love for them. Obviously, big fan of Gas Mark 10. Now, I was originally with Applied Nutrition. I've been with Applied Nutrition for the last few years. I don't have anything bad to say about them. Great company, great team. Shout out to Daz Williams, who's obviously been dealing with me the last few years. Not that this is about like sales and money or the rest of it, but I've been top revenue driver, number 3 top revenue driver for like the last 2 years straight in the top 3. And there's like 300 AN coaches, Applied Nutrition coaches.
Very
so
good.
Like we're not like, this isn't bullshit. What I've done, like, that's just how it is. But Applied Nutrition, I feel as a brand is more about, it's moved away from its bodybuilding roots. It's moved away from its hardcore roots, and it's more gen pop, it's more high rocks, it's more CrossFit, it's more combat sports, bit of boxing, all the rest of it. Yeah, they've got Darren Till, they've got Daniel Dubois, they have all these other athletes. Sounds cool. I love my boxing, whatever. However, I feel that my roots belong with a hardcore brand and a hardcore bodybuilding brand. Now, you look at the athletes on their team, it's the same for you with Animal. The team at Gas Mod 10, I think there's about 24, 25 athletes. Every single one of them are like professionals in their field. Like, we've got the #1 heavyweight bare knuckle boxer on the planet, Aggie Faulkner, who's one of the athletes. That gives you an idea of like the kind of the caliber of the people involved. You'll know quite a few of the bodybuilders who are involved in the team, and males and the females. They are exceptional. So I've walked into this team like from a big pond of like 300 athletes to a team of 25 athletes, where I am the minnow, I am the little fish in a team who are very good. And it really feels, for me, it's the right move because I need to be around people who are far better than me. I get on with all of them. It was a no-brainer for me.
No-brainer, mate. Well, congratulations, man. Gas Mod 10.
James 10 at checkout.
I love that. Yeah, man, it's a great brand, and I cannot wait. So is it October the what? Sorry, for opening?
So
we're not allowed to know.
I'm not allowed to say yet. I do know the opening date, but it is going to be in October, and that's all I can say. That'll
do, man. I can't wait to go. Can't wait to go. Honestly, I'm really buzzing about that. So it's awesome. Yeah, do you know what? Same with Animal. Animal's the best sponsorship I've ever had. It's actually been a year. It was a year 2 weeks ago.
I think it was the right move for you.
And yeah, I'm a small fish. They're all IFBB pros. Yeah, right? And actually Miss Figure Olympia is with Animal.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, hi, I'm just like, hey. But no, it's a great one. And I've actually had a little promotion since being with them, because they're like happy with the deal we got going and stuff. So it's been fucking great. Yeah. I love it. So we've both got good ones, man. Both good ones. We'll see off this one, right? We'll see off this episode with, we're going to make it a bit more serious because it's something that's obviously close to your heart. Take it away, please.
Yeah. So, obviously at the time of recording this, guys, I've just taken a full week off work. On Sunday last week, well, technically this week, at 1:20, I got a text message to my phone saying that one of my best mates had taken his own life. And I spent from all of Sunday to Wednesday afternoon, I didn't leave my house, I just cried. And I don't even know where I'm going to go with this, to be honest. He was like, Jonathan was someone I've known for years. And he was also the guy that got me into boxing. I've always had an interest in it, but I knew he was going through a few things. And he came up to me in the gym only a couple of months back and was like, we need to start doing this thing, mate. Come on, let's like jump in with a session with me. And I was literally in the middle of a weight training session. He was like, get the gloves on, come over here, we're doing it. And I was just like, I love this. So we started. And then it became a thing every week, every Wednesday, every Sunday. We did it. We met up. And it's crazy. It's like I could go on and on. There's so many stories, but like he was someone that just poured into everyone else's cup, even when his own cup was completely empty and no one knew. And he would go up to complete strangers in the gym who he didn't even know, and he would help them. And within 5 minutes, he was such a charismatic and likable guy. They'd be exchanging numbers. He could walk in a room. This guy had everything as well. He was incredibly successful. He was incredibly wealthy. He had all the watches. Like, he would train in the gym with like a Submariner on, like a 12 grand watch on his arm. And we'd be like doing cleans and presses and boxing and everything. He wouldn't even care. That was just his daytime watch. And I'm not saying this is about money, but the guy materialistically had absolutely everything. He had an apartment in Dubai. He had supercars. He was driving around in an Audi R8. He had the body. And like, from a training point of view, he was one of these guys that was just unbelievable. Like, he walked around year round with a straight six pack at 6'3", 6'4". He was a little bit taller than me. Like, in ridiculous shape, ridiculous cardio. He was so capable. He could fight. He could lift. He looked the part. He was probably like someone I consider like an ultimate role model and an older brother. And he never asked for anything in return. He just wanted to give. And it's crazy because he actually sent me a message when I was in Greece. And I put this message on my Instagram because I just wanted the people who, obviously from an outsider looking in, you see someone like that. And again, we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast about confidence, arrogance, all the rest of it. And it's all a big facade and you never really know what's going on. But the guy I knew, You look from the outside and you think he's really flashy, all the rest of it. But he said to me over and over again, all I wanted was what you have. And he's like, you have a family, you're on holiday right now with your wife, with your son. And, you know, you think that I'm rich and I've got all these things. He's like, bro, you're the rich one. You have everything. He's like, I'm 38. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not married. I don't have my son. Like, and that was a voice note he sent me. And I transcribed it, I screenshot it, and I put it on my Instagram because I just wanted everyone to see that that was the guy he was. And obviously we were only training together a week ago. I got a mouth guard. I went to the dentist. I got a mouth guard. Like I got a full scan of my mouth because they don't do normal fittings anymore. So I got a full mouth guard scan. And I said to him, I'm going to get this done. He was like, oh, you really like, I'm looking, no lip service. We're doing this properly. We're doing it. So my mouth guard arrived on Monday and he'd taken his own life on Sunday. It's crazy, mate.
Wow.
It's heavy. Like it's funny because everyone comes over to you and the first thing people say to you is, are you all right? And you're like, you can either just lie or you can cry. And it's really hard. And that's why I've not been able to go to work this week. Just because like, I just can't think. This is literally my first outing. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do this podcast this morning, to be honest. Like every song that comes on, everything you see, every time I open my car boot, there's 2 boxing gloves there. I've not been able to put them on since. And the guys that we were training with, they invited me. They 2 of them were fighting last night at an event at the Hideout in Bolton. And Johnny was obviously supposed to be there. So they invited me to that and said, bro, you've got to come. You've got to come. So I went there last night and I was with all of them and I had so many people. I've had so many people reaching out on Instagram and messaging me on emails and ringing me and like how he touched their lives. And it's like, it's crazy because all you can do you have all the questions in your mind of what you could do, what you maybe should have done. Should you have rung him? Should you have done this? And you talk to yourself. And when someone's like that, there's now I know what's happened. There's nothing that would have changed his mind on Saturday night. And it's just hard because I can't even make this like a mental health like stance of, oh, you need to speak to your mates and all the rest of it. We spoke every week. We trained every week. And it's a mad one. All I can say is like the only way I can honor him. And if you guys, you know, you're going through something similar where you've lost someone in your life, whether it is from suicide or where you've lost someone suddenly, is that the only way you can honor them in life, the only way that brings things forwards is the pain won't go away, but you can honor them by doing right by them. So it's my mission now that I have to pay his story forward. So we talked about this at the beginning. Everything that he was about, the charisma, the lifting other people up, family, life is too short, taking life by the horns, not fucking doing anything half measures. Like you can literally be here right now and we can go outside and a car can fucking hit you and you can die. Like you could have a heart attack. Like life's too short. I just think if the one takeaway from this is if you've lost someone, the only way you can honor them is by how you behave going forwards. And we literally talked about this on the last podcast about how I said the words, there's nothing more motivating than when I'm stood in a funeral. You did. And I stand by that because all I've thought about this week is what I need to do with my life and what he would be telling me. And that's where I'm at.
That's the thing we said about earlier about motivation. How do you stay motivated this long in? Things like this are just like the biggest.
That's the answer, mate.
The biggest kick out the arse,
the answer.
Right?
Most people, genuinely, like you'll be sat here now and you'll know in your life what you're not fucking trying harder at. You will know the things where you've gone slack, you've gone complacent. You'll know in your own mind, I'm taking a piss here. I need to get a grip of this. I need to get on top of that. And it could be anything. Ollie, you'll be the same. All you guys who are watching this, you'll be the same. You can stand here right now and you can sit and listen to these words and know that you will know exactly what you need to do in your life. And you need to know that every single hour, every single minute is a fucking blessing. And when it's gone, it's gone. Doesn't matter what you believe in, what religion you have, what your faith is, because we don't know. But what you do know is what you are doing right now. And that's all we can do. So fucking take control of it.
Yep. So, yeah, John O'Connor, rest in peace. I didn't know the guy. What I did, I saw him a few times in Kings and I saw him out and about and I saw his Instagram and whatnot. And so he's a good looking lad, in shape, clearly strong, clearly can fight, clearly capable,
had
money,
had everything,
money, was successful at what he did. So what strikes me is that I don't know the circumstances, so excuse me if I speak out of tone.
Yes.
But I just want to say depression or being down or being whatever, like mental health issues, whatever it is, does not discriminate. Okay. And as much as I've been quite, sorry, mate, I've been quite, not dismissive of mental health, but I've been a bit like almost brushing over it. But it does not matter how successful you are. That's not the key factor or not, is it?
Yeah.
There are people who are flying high. There are actors that do it as well, you know, and it's not enough. It wasn't enough to keep him.
The thing for me that's really poignant with Johnny is he was one of the most mentally strong. His mindset was bulletproof for the guy I knew. And for someone who I considered mentally strong and had a bulletproof mindset, it wasn't enough to save him in that moment.
I'm so sorry for your loss, mate. And anyone who watches this and knows him as well. I guess all we can say now is if you're someone who's struggling yourself, reach out to someone close to you, reach out to us, reach out to whoever it is. If that can be, if one conversation can be enough to save you from doing something that you can never come back from, then it's worthwhile.
Absolutely.
But I guess on that note, mate, let's say rest in peace, John O'Connor. Johnny, if you knew him.
Jonathan, if you wanted to piss him off.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for sharing it with us, mate, anyway.
Nice, bro.
Until next time.
Yeah, man.